What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with a new comic book day haul. That's right. Went to 3 comic book shops on the first leg of the Dallas Fan Expo. So I'm headed to Dallas Fan Expo this week, but I had to make some stops along the way. So if you want to see what I picked up today, stay tuned for the video. Now, before I get into all of this comic book goodness, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification. So when videos like this go up ever so randomly, you are one of the first people to know and can make the conscious decision as to whether or not to watch it now or later, as long as you watch it. That's the important thing. And we appreciate you. Talking about people that we appreciate, let's talk about the ever-growing list of YouTube channel and Patreon members. These are people that support the channel through their monthly membership. If you are interested in the benefits of either or both of these programs, then the links are in the description below. Also, it's always a good time to save some money, and it's always important to protect those valuables we call comic books and or cards or records, etc. Visit bcwsupplies.com. Use the coupon code SCG at checkout to save yourself 10% on your order. There is a link in the description below. So this was a huge new comic book day. I was able to pick up the DCs because the shop, my local shop, which is only an hour away from me, did not have the DCs last week, so I missed out. So I got the DCs from last week, everything for this week. Of course, by the time I got to the shop, because I don't have a pull list, I missed out on some stuff. But as I mentioned in the intro, I went to count them 3 shops before the day was up, and certainly spent a week's worth of books, etc. And yeah, so this is the first day of the Dallas Fan Expo. Unfortunately, when I get to Dallas Fan Expo, there I have heard, well, based on their website, there are several people who I had wanted to get some stuff signed by that are not going to be in attendance for whatever reason. Werther, whoever, the artist of Something's Killing the Children, James Tynion, who the writer of Something's Killing the Children, I was going to get him to do some punchline signatures and stuff. Unfortunately, he's not going to be there. David Finch, Greg Capullo, but there's still a lot that are there. So I still have my short box full. I've got a couple of pops to include the Batman animated series, Kevin Conroy, and the guy who does Ren and Stimpy's voice. I've got some for the Ren and Stimpy, some pops of that. I've got my for original art book, et cetera, et cetera. So I've got a lot of stuff to get signed. John Jang is going to be there. I didn't bring anything for Miko, but that doesn't mean I won't pick anything up that needs Miko's signature. Miko Sion's going to be there. So a lot of good, great stuff. Hopefully going to get some deals on some books. So hit that bell notification and subscription of this video, or for this channel rather, if you haven't already, because I'm going to be dropping some more content. And check me out over on IG, Southern Comic Geek, all one word, and follow me over there because I might be going live at the con. So let's see what we got. Got Star Wars High Republic Adventures. I meant to pick this up when it first came out, the #1, and then I all of a sudden it went on that dreaded key collector app, because these High Republic Adventures, they're introducing a lot of new characters, and so there's some hype around it. I don't believe that it has lived up to the hype yet, but I'm still giving it some passes as of right now. Also picking up the Star Wars Adventures. I haven't been reading them, but they've been having some nice covers, and kind of a similar deal with the High Republic stuff. There's been a lot of speckity spec around it, and then this one had the Boba Fett cover, so I decided to pick it up. Rorschach #12 started off great, got some good covers out of the deal. I'm just ready for it to be over. Maybe this #12 issue is going to knock it out of the park, and I'm going to say, man, this was really worth it. The payoff was great. I don't believe so, but so my expectations are low, so maybe I will be surprised, hopefully so. Wolverine #15. This has been definitely one of the more consistent titles with Ben Percy on the writing and Andy or Adam Kubert on the art. I always get them backwards. Adam Kubert on the art. Just great classic Wolverine stories. Been really digging that one when it comes to the X titles. Nice House on the Lake, number 4. I believe this is the B cover. I had previously said in another video that I didn't know if I was going to continue on with Nice House on the Lake, but I don't think it's a very long series. I heard a lot of other good stuff from it that some people will that said it was a good read. So I'll keep giving it a benefit of a doubt until I just go, all right, no, it's no more for me. And so I do have my 2 younger sons with me going to Fan Expo. And so this has been kind of a trip of sorts. Infinite Frontier, number 6. I would have liked to got the 1 in 25 Dark Side variant. I don't know that I would pay what most of these shops are going to pay for them. So I actually found it at the second shop that I went to. This came out last week. Been digging this series. Josh Williamson's really doing a good job. Hopefully he'll continue that with the Batman series that he is now on. Geiger, number 6. I think this actually came out last week, was one I missed, but been digging it. Gary Frank art, Jeff Johns on the writing. Definitely a great duo there. I Am Batman 1. No, you're not. You're one of the later Batman, but this is the series I Am Batman 1. I'm not a big fan of John Ridley. I don't like the way he portrays characters. Having said that, I am giving the new Batman, Jace, or whatever he wants to call himself, a pass, at least for the first couple of issues. This one happens to be the Greg Capullo variant on this. So maybe it'll turn up something. Swamp Thing, number 7 of the 10-issue miniseries. Been digging the art, been digging the story. The Suicide Squad, which is another DC title. Thank you, Mark, from Legion of Comics, for getting me hooked on all these DC books. Because typically in the past, I have not been a big DC guy. I've been really strictly around the Batman. Now, but to be honest, a lot of my new DC pickups are Batman-related titles. And because that's what DC puts out these days, right? Everything they put out. But there are stuff like the Swamp Thing, like some of the other ones that I've shown, that been picking up and been really liking. Actually, I'm almost positive that, yeah. So I got, count this, so 3 Star Wars, or 3 Marvel books. 3 Marvel books. 2 IDW, and the rest are DC. Wow. And as big as this week was, I take that back. I got a couple of Image books. Okay, so there's a 4th Marvel book, but the rest are DC. Just saying. DC is really DC's not doing everything right. I don't think any of them are, but I think that they're doing a lot of stuff right. They have been fortunate enough, I think, to retain some of the top tier talent and pick up some new ones. It obviously remains to be seen what the outcome is going to be with the new company that buys them. Hopefully, they will put the right people in the right place. Who knows? But talking about Mark with Legion of Comics, if you have not already subscribed to Mark, go over there and subscribe. He's only like 20 subscribers away from hitting that 1,000 subscriber milestone. Certainly well deserved. Putting out monster content all of the time. And he's fixing to be doing another giveaway. So if you have not already, Legion of Comics, go check him out. Blue and Gold, I mentioned other DC series, Blue and Gold. So I picked up number 1. Dan Jurgens is writing this, and so I wanted to give it a good pass. So the first issue was kind of fun, so I said, let me at least stick around for a couple of issues. Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters, this is the Busha one shot. They're doing a lot of these one shots in here, and they're placed in amongst the story arc. Uh, I just think that Marvel's just way overusing this story, and it's just one of those stories that I wish was already done. Batman 89, number 2. This is from the movie, a continuation of the 89 film. And one was okay. I got the Miko cover that homaged the Jim Lee cover from back in the day uh, for number 1. I really like the Superman 78 better, even though I'm a Batman fan. I don't like Robert Vendetti's work, and that's who's writing the Superman book. But I got the second issue of Batman 89 there. Joker presents a puzzle box. This is number 2. Oh, no, this is issue 2. Yeah. So this is the one where they blame Joker. He says he didn't do it. So uh, interesting read. Batman Urban Legends number 7. This is a cool Matina cover, I believe, for the Batman Beyond. From the way the shop worker told me that they redone some of the origin, and this might be a first appearance of somebody. I don't know. So I'm going to read it and find out if I think it might be a first appearance or considered a first appearance. I might go back and pick up another copy just to sell, but we will see. Batman and Catwoman number 7. This is the Jim Lee cover. This is one of those other series that I wish was over. Tom King, are you listening? You might want to start doing 6-issue series. Anyway. Power Rangers number 11. I think this came out last week, and I looked at it, and for some reason, I know what it was. I just got to talking to the guy at the comic shop. We were talking about different things, and I ended up not picking this up, which happened to me at the first shop this week because I didn't pick up the Infinite Frontier, and no, it wasn't Infinite Frontier. It's one of the other ones. And I ended up got lucky, and it was at the second shop. So when I stopped in Monroe, Louisiana, I picked up a couple of books off of the Hulk run. The Totally Awesome Hulk is actually part of the numbering for the Incredible Hulk run. So Greg Pak, I generally like his work. Wasn't a big fan of how they swapped Amadeus Cho for Bruce Banner, or got that vice versa, but I'm a completionist, so there we go. Totally Awesome Hulk number 17 and number 13 with an assist from Jeremy Lin. That's a name I ain't heard in a while. Does he even play basketball anymore? The Walking Dead Deluxe, the David Finch cover. So, been enjoying that. Star Wars Darth Vader number 16. Part of the War of the Bounty Hunters tie-in. The Trial of Magneto. This is a mini series. I got the first issue from Instagram, and I have not read it yet. Not too. I don't have too much faith that it's going to be a good read, but we shall see. Future State Gotham number 5. So been enjoying this. Again, this is a Bat series, and so I'm inclined to like it. It is kind of the continuation of not only Future State but the Red Hood title. So it's one of those been picking up, but I've been enjoying it. Josh Williamson's been writing that, so Williamson, Batman, Williamson, Frontier. So he's doing a good job. Then we've got Suicide Squad. This came out last week, but like I said, the DC books were not there. Ambush Bug. So I think I'm in the wrong book. So he is the Deadpool-esque character who can break the fourth wall. And this is not the cover I really wanted. They had the cover I would have liked to have had at the second shop, but I wasn't going to pay another $4 to have both covers. I have been enjoying this. I got the number 1 out of one of the Walmart packs, and I said, this is pretty good. And I think I even got number 2 out of a Walmart pack, or got it out of a mystery box or something like that. So I was able to get the first 2, and said, well, let's just continue that trend there. Joker number 7. Been enjoying this series, one of Tynian's series that he's doing, at least for now. And because of its relation to Batman, that's really no surprise there. Batman 112. Continuation of the Fear State. Batman breaks free. and this is kind of starting Fear State. I got Fear State Alpha last week, and this is kind of overlaps that. There's also a short story at the end with Cloud Hunter. We got Justice League Last Ride, number 5. Chip Zdarsky knocking it out of the park. This is one of those DC titles that I thank you, Mark, for turning me on to, because I wouldn't have picked it up otherwise. Even though Batman was in it, with the other cast of characters, I'm like, yeah, I'm picking up so many books already. I mean, you've seen what I picked up this week, and I'm not even through yet. So, yeah, I mean, I would have passed on it, but Chip Zdarsky did a really great job with the Red Hood and Batman story that he did in Batman Urban Legends. A lot of people hail his Daredevil work as some of the greatest Daredevil writing ever. And so when he was announced for this, Mark was really hyping it up. So let's get it. And it has been a fun read. I really like it. Obviously, it's a miniseries, and it's kind of an Elseworld type deal. I mean, DC doesn't have any continuity right now, so we know that this is set in the future, whether it's this future or that future, or the other world future. It's not like one that has any kind of gravitas to it. Of course, what comics do these days? I mean, if somebody dies, they will be back. So it's been a fun read. Suicide Squad Get Joker. Brian Azzarello was one of the people that canceled. He was supposed to be at this con. Unfortunately, he is not going to be. I had some books for him to sign. But this is Suicide Squad is sent after the Joker by Amanda Waller. At the end of the first book, Joker kills Amanda Waller and takes the item that can blow off the heads of the Suicide Squad. So they go to try to get it back and think that they got it, and go to great lengths to think they got it. I'm not trying to spoil anything for you, so they go to great lengths to think that they got it. Ends up they don't. They don't, obviously, because there's more than just 2 issues in this series, and so been an interesting deal there. I've been liking most of the Black Label stuff, anyway. So last week when I was at the comic shop and talking to one of the workers there, they had really recommended this title, Descender, by Jeff Lemire. Jeff Lemire has written enough work, whether it's Bloodshot, whether it's Gideon Falls, a lot of his stuff that he's done I liked. So he's one of those writers that I'll give a first pass to. So when he was kind of telling me the premise of Descender, and of course now there's a sequel called Ascender, which I'll get to in a minute, I got the first trade. I read the first trade. First day I got it, I really liked it. So I went straightway to Amazon and called myself ordering Volume 2. However, you might have already guessed it, I picked up Ascender, which is the sequel, Volume 2, which does me no good. It'd be total spoilery, and I'd be lost. So I just set it aside, and I said, hopefully, by the time I get there, I'm still in love with the series, that I'll continue to read it. So I went ahead and went and ordered the correct one on Amazon and got Descender 2 right before I left the house. So probably we'll read it at some point this week. At one of the shops that I go to, Infinity Comics in Monroe, he has a few toys. He doesn't have an awful lot of stuff, but he has a few things. So I've seen a couple of them and decided to go ahead and pull the trigger on them today. One of them is this Phantom X figure. So pretty cool Phantom X figure. I'm almost positive that this is a Marvel Legends figure. So he does have the pistols. This cape whips out, kind of like the old Westerns and stuff. So hopefully he is not with a Build-A-Figure where I really would want the piece and end up having to have 2 Phantom X's in the future. But yeah, so his arms go out with the trigger fingers out, so you can have like a showdown or whatever like that. So pretty cool. Or you could pose him like he did in his second appearance where he's upside down. Then I got Oracle. This is Oracle. I think this is a DC Directs. And it is with her wheelchair on here. So how many wheelchair superheroes do you know? There's not many. And like many people, was not a big fan of her, getting shot by Joker and therefore paralyzing her and her not being Batgirl anymore. However, once they'd done it, and she kind of grew as a character and character development as Oracle, and using her mind as opposed to her body to perform all those uh, uh, gymnastic uh, tricks. Once they'd done that, it's like, okay, yeah, I can see this. But then, for whatever reason, when they did the new 52, they had to bring her back. Felt like that cheapened the whole story. It wouldn't be the first time that DC or comics in general have done this to characters. Barry Allen would be another example. There's Supergirl, characters that when they died, they stayed dead for quite some time. Was simply basically the same thing with her. And it's like, especially in this day and age where everybody's so worried about making sure some other uh, special group is just that special. You would think that they would have kept her in the wheelchair. They essentially done that through the Joker War. She's like, hey, I can't continue to do that. Joker messed my back up. It could have be permanent, and it might be permanent if I go back. So basically, they've kind of gone back to that. She's not paralyzed, but she's not in the Batgirl suit. So maybe that's kind of them trying to retract the whole New 52 and rebirth deal, and let her be back to Oracle. Let somebody else take up the mantle. That's fine. It's kind of the progression of things, or should be the progression of things. But that is it. And that is certainly more than a fair start to this week's trek to Dallas Fan Expo. So I'm here in Shreveport, Louisiana. You might have seen some kids walking around in the back because, as I mentioned earlier, that I have two of them with me. Before we leave town tomorrow, I'm going to be going to Excalibur Comics here. Don't plan on digging too much in the back issue bins. Just want to make sure they've got all my new issue books covered. But who knows? Who knows? Then from there, we will head towards Dallas. There's a couple of shops along the way in Longview, I think, and a couple of other towns in between here and Dallas probably will stop at. And then we've got tomorrow is Thursday. And then Friday morning, I plan to go to Dallas Vintage Toys. If anybody has ever been to Dallas Vintage Toys, leave me a comment, because this video will air about before I go there. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. But I plan on going there. I've seen it looks pretty cool. So I plan on going there first part of Friday. And then Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock is when the con starts. So I've already got my passes and everything. So we're good to go. And I'm going to hit up the con, who I want to get a sketch cover done with, get a bunch of signatures for the people that are going to be there on Friday, and kind of peruse the books to see where I might snipe some deals at, hopefully. And then Saturday, come back and start to wrap things up and leave Saturday afternoon is the plan. But tell me what you think about this particular haul down in the comments below. As always, I do appreciate you taking the time to watch. And until next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.